A new year begins and a new voice rises. Spirit 94.3, KHSP LP, Huntsville, Texas, and on the web at spiritradio.fm. Spirit 94.3.
As we get rocking and rolling here on a thankful Thursday. Thankful Thursday. Is it Thursday or Thursday?
It depends on who you ask.
Well, it's Thursday. Welcome in, everybody, as we are here. And the first segment is always on Spirit 94.3. Hey, real quick on the intro, shout out Joshua Mashi.
Yeah.
Back there running the dials.
Real deal.
That guy
he makes it sound professional.
He does. He's, I come in for voice training from him, and he tells me, he said, Rob, you need to inflect this way, and you need to bring it down a little lower.
There you go.
See, Jason's got it too. Jason, you do have the voice too. Yes, you do, man.
No, I don't. I'm just glad to be a part of the team.
No, you've got the voice. And that's the thing is whenever you hear your own voice, you think, oh, I don't, and even me, I'm like, oh, and then everybody says, oh, you got a voice. You have the voice.
Nah.
Jason Bay, the voice.
But it's funny how you recognize your voice when you hear it, even if it's across the room. Last night we were up here for some training. We're doing some just staff training. We're focusing on our small groups here. And I had the Spirit radio going in the background. And Alan was sitting there talking to me, and he's like, wait a minute. And he heard his voice on there, out of all of that, he heard his voice. And I think it's easy to recognize your voice, and it's cringy to hear your own voice sometimes. And I feel that way.
He heard, this is Alan Barnes, the worship pastor at First Baptist Church, and you were listening to Spirit Radio.
Yeah, that's what he heard. That's what he heard.
And you'll hear Jason on there too sometimes. So, and other people in the community, we've made that pretty neat. So, well, everybody, welcome in as we are hopping and rolling here on another edition of Good Morning Huntsville, episode 679, and maybe 680 actually. I don't know. Josh, I don't know, Josh, what it is. Josh don't know either because I didn't show him this morning. But we're somewhere around
680?
there.
680.
680. I was throwing that at him to trick him to see if he would know.
Yeah.
He finds out. This is what I love about this guy. Mm-hmm. You can just be like, man, I don't know what's up with that, and then literally 5 seconds later, he's got it taken care of.
He's on top of it. He's over there just grinding.
I got onto him on Tuesday because when he talks on that microphone, he doesn't flip the camera to him, and he goes, well, it kind of feels weird because I'm the guy producing it, and I said, no, man, the people want to see who's back there once in a while. So,
but man, every time I come in here, Rob, you have something new. I love the look of the studio that you've put on, and I hear you're going to even do something with this blank wall, so I'm looking forward to that.
We're working on it. There's a lot of moving parts, as you know, in anything, and I've reached out to a local. Would you call it a muralist? Would that be? Am I making that word up? A muralist.
I think artist would just be good enough.
We may have just made up a new word here. We do that. I do that quite frequently. There's a gentleman who you and I both know who's just exceptional, and I'd love to have him come by and at least quote us on where you sit there. And the people, of course, on Spirit 94.3, they can't see this, but what I'm describing, there's a wall behind our table here in the studio, and it's a pretty good-sized wall. And I would love to have General Sam Houston there, the statue, a painting of him, or even just Sam Houston in general, and the statue, the Hornets, Sam Houston State, something with that, a picture or a painting of our front of our church. There's a lot of really neat history there, and then just make it speak Huntsville. That whole wall,
right?
What would speak Huntsville to you? I probably named quite a bit of it, but
yeah, I think all of that. I think the university. You mentioned that Rob, that's something you mentioned that I wanted to talk about today. When we look at the Thankful Thursday, and each week we come in here and I'm tasked with thinking of something that I'm thankful for, that we all can be thankful for, and so I was thinking about it over the week, and it's funny how you mentioned that because I'm thankful for a place called home, that a community like Huntsville, where all of these things that represent us are definitely icons of the community. But what makes Huntsville Huntsville is the people, the people that have come together throughout generations and have stood in the gap. So this morning, I just want all of us to be thankful for a place called home. Read this. I had this from a few years ago. This is a Rod Sterling. He was a play writer from New York. He wrote, "Everybody has a hometown. In the strangely brittle, terrible, sensitive makeup of a human being, there's a need for a place to hang a hat, or kind of a geographical womb to crawl back into, or maybe just a place that's where you grew up. When I dig back through my memory cells, I get one particularly distinctive feeling that's one of warmth, comfort, and well-being. For whatever else I may have had or lost or will find, I've still got a hometown. This nobody can take away from me." And I think about community. I think about this town, and that helped shape me. I grew up here. My family, my mother is a Walker. Her maiden name was Walker, and they lived here for many years in Walker County. I went to Huntsville High School, and then I've had the opportunity to come back and be a part of it. And there's something beautiful about having a place to call home. And Paul writes about that, and he looks back at the end of his life. He's reminiscing, if you will, thinking back. And when he thinks about home, or he thinks about a place that he longs for, it is a group of people, a community. And this is what he says in Philippians chapter 1, verse 3. He says, "I thank my God upon every remembrance of you, always in every prayer of mine, making requests for you all with joy, for your fellowship in the gospel from the first day until now." He talks, and he's thinking back of those relationships that he's had. When he writes this, he's in prison, but this is known as the joy epistle. There's so much joy in the book of Philippians, yet he's under house arrest when he's writing this. And he's thinking back over his life, and the people that he's thankful for most are those people that made an impact. And he says, every remembrance of you, I take the time and thank God for you. So on this Thankful Thursday, let's stop and thank God for the people that he's placed around us, so that we can have a community called home, so that we can go back to that place that says, hey, these people love me. These people support me. These people have my back. Now, Paul goes on to say this, and I think that you can't end there, because it goes on to say, being confident of this very thing, that he who has begun a good work in you will complete it until the day of Jesus Christ. And he's reminded us all in this scripture and in this passage and in this book that although we have places on this earth we call home, this ultimately is not our home, that we are just sojourners, just aliens, just strangers passing through. And while the Lord allows us to make great connections with people that we will know for eternity, this is not our final home. God has a place called home for us. One of our church members yesterday, I went to visit, and she's a lady that had been a part of our church for many, 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 many years, and she's just on the last stages of her life, and just laying there at home with her family around her. Any minute, going to pass from this life into the next. She knew the Lord Jesus Christ, but as I sat there and talked, and I've been over there a couple of times in the last week, and as I sat and talked with the family opened up with me about other things, other people in their life that they had lost. And the daughter said to me, she goes, the longer I live, the more and more I anticipate for the Lord to come. Like he says in Revelation, come, Lord Jesus, come. So on this thankful Thursday, I want to say to everyone listening, be thankful for a place called home. This may be your hometown. This may not be your hometown. But even if it's not your hometown, there is a place called home, and it's not of this world. God has a place for those that have placed their trust in him. And the longer we live here, the more and more we realize that this life is just a vapor that appears for a little while and then vanishes away, as James says. So the important thing we need to remember is to invest and build our real home, the home that is in the kingdom of God, where we'll all be together forever, united with the Lord Jesus Christ.
That's really good, Jason. It's so good. Because I think about people who are listening this morning as our signal reaches out. We got friends in Ireland that are listening. We know that because of the name of our station. It's quite nice how things work out. But we also have people locally here in East Texas that listen from their jobs. Maybe they're driving this morning on their way in to possibly, be into work this morning, or maybe they're behind a prison wall this morning. We know that people are listening. We've had feedback that there are people in 5 of the 7 TDCJ institutions here in Huntsville that people listen. And as you were reading that, I thought about those that maybe don't have a family, but they do. They do have a family, and they can enter into that family of believers, and they can feel welcome in their community, but they can also enter into the kingdom, into the family of the Lord.
I've had the opportunity to spend a lot of time doing prison ministry, and the guys that I get the chance to talk to on one-on-one, there is such a longing. There's such a longing in their heart, so many of them to be home. And whenever they ask for prayer, so many of them don't ask for prayer for themselves. And these are those that have accepted Christ behind the walls, and they ask for prayers for their family members, for those that are at home that are going through something that they want prayer for. But I would just say that to those that are behind walls this morning, whether it's by you're working there or whether you're incarcerated, there is a place called home, and in that place there'll be no bars, there'll be no confinement. We have a something great to look forward to, and the longer, like I said, the longer we live here, the more and more it should allow us to anticipate the opportunity to be with the Lord forever. So many people think about heaven, and they think about eternity, and they think about, well, I want the Lord to come, but just not now. And I think there's a misunderstanding of what heaven and what eternity is going to be like. The Bible says, "Eye had not seen nor ear heard the things that God has prepared for his children, for those that love him." And when we think about that, I mean, you think about all the things that we see here, but it's going to be so much better than what we hear. It's an upgrade. It's not, we're going to miss this or that or whatever. I mean, it's all that and more. We just get the experience of life without the effects of sin, and that is a beautiful thing.
As they've gotten older and held on to that hope through faith, having a relationship with Christ, and by faith knowing that he came and died and rose again, and I've accepted him as my personal Savior, Pastor, as I've gotten older, of course I don't want anything to happen to me.
Right.
But in a way, I long for that day now, and I'm no longer fearful of what's going to happen.
Right.
Fearing death is something that we all do. But there also comes this joy knowing that if I have that relationship with Christ, that this isn't the end.
Absolutely.
But the truth, too, is, and I do have to say this because we have to mention this, the truth is we all live for eternity. It's just, where is that going to be? And I want to be with the Lord.
That's right. And this is what this whole book of Philippians is all about, is this longing for home, longing for the joy that only Christ can bring. as he thinks back to those people of his home that he's impacted along the way, those people that at one point of his life or another he called home, as he lived with them and worked with them and built churches with them and built communities with them. He thanks for them and he longs for them, but the more he thanks of them, the more he thinks about heaven and the kingdom of God and the eternity with the Lord and with the Lord's people. The day we'll all be reunited once again. That's why Philippians, while he's writing in jail or under house arrest, he can look forward to the freedom and experience the freedom of knowing that this is just the beginning.
Yeah. Well, brother, thank you. Always a great opening segment here that we get to do on Thursdays, on a Thankful Thursday.
Thankful for home.
Thankful for home. I love it. That's going to be a new sermon series coming up when he's going to segue into it. You said something earlier before we break. You said a word, sojourner. Did I say that right? Did I say that?
Maybe you use that. Did I use that word?
You did.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
You said a sojourner.
I think that's a quote. The Bible uses that meaning like a passing through.
Here's my nerd level rising up. One nerd level yesterday, the reflection of the sun was coming through the shutters that were installed. Looked like the Xbox logo was here on the wall, so that was pretty
That's
nerdy.
awesome, man.
But then the second nerdy part, when you said sojourner, my mind immediately went to July the 4th, 1997. See, here's emotional attachment.
There you go, man.
I was 13 years old. I remember this.
All right.
July the 4th, 1997. And I'm a big space nerd. I like space. They had landed the Pathfinder on Mars, and they called it Sojourner.
Oh,
that was the name.
Hey, man.
Sojourner. And
That's
awesome.
awesome.
I just watched the Mars movie the other night.
That's cool. There you go. There you go.
So I'm thankful for that.
Sojourner.
I'm thankful for a memory sometimes.
Yeah, that's great, man. I love it. I love it. And I mean, you have these impacts in your life are so cool to go back to.
Think about the Sojourner in 97.
Well, this year, think about this. Time passes by so quickly, but you mentioned July the 4th, and July the 4th this year is our 250th anniversary as a nation, and so that's going to be quite a celebration as we approach that day.
That's going to be neat. We'll have to have a special on that day.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
Well, friends, thanks for hanging out with us on this first segment. As always, we do it right here on Spirit 94.3. If you'd like to continue the conversation, keep hanging out with us. We will move over to social media, and you can go to the Hello Huntsville YouTube page and continue watching the show. We'll have some friends joining us in just a few moments talking about some awesome Valentine's Day things coming up, and also news you can use. We'll be back after this. Stay with us.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at GuardianDefenseLLC.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas. The church should be transformational. And maybe you've never been to church, or maybe life has left you feeling lost, but Jesus says, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." At First Baptist Church, Huntsville, a harbor of hope, we're not trying to fit in with the world. We're here to help you step into something greater, a fresh start, a new life in Christ. Join us this Sunday at 10:45 and see what God can do in your life. Visit fbchuntsville.org. Hope is here, and we're saving a seat just for you.
Loving Jesus, loving people side by side. In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
Hi, I'm Billy Carlton, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
At Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, we're not just a place where children pass the time. We are not a daycare. We are a child care center focused on the growth, learning, and discovery. Every day, children engage in meaningful activities that build confidence, independence, and a love for learning. From reading and math to social and practical life skills, our students are active participants in their development. Ready to give your child something more? Visit tomorrowspromise.info and discover what makes our school different. Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, education you can trust.
The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
Hey friend, Rob Hipp here for Elliott's Jewelers. The new year is here, and what a better way to start out the new year than celebrating the moments that matter the most. And you can do that with Elliott's Jewelers here in Huntsville. Whether it's an engagement, an anniversary, a birthday, or maybe just a fresh start, Elliott hand selects every diamond, and he creates meaningful pieces that are designed just for you. There's no crowded showroom, no pressure, just personal attention and jewelry that tells your story. So again, start the new year with something timeless. It's Elliott's Jewelers here in Huntsville by appointment only. Book online at elliotsjewelers.com.
The music that we had earlier today, Jason, on the intro, reminded me of that workout guy that no one remembers back in the day.
Yeah, it's dating us. It's dating us, Rob. Rob said this is sweating to the oldies.
Yeah,
With Richard Simmons.
Richard.
Yeah, back in the day.
Heard that
Richard Simmons.
Goodness, I said,
If you'd like to go to Amazon, we have our link there, and it'll give us some commission. Richard Simmons workout videos.
you got to have a VHS, though.
That's it, yeah. Well, welcome back, everybody, as we continue on this morning, back on the Soch here, and always a lot of fun to hang out with guests. Before we do that, big thank you to Elliott Herzlich from Elliott's Jewelers. He's online at elliotsjewelers.com for all of your jewelry needs. Go by and see our great friend Elliott Herzlich. In fact, yesterday, Shannon Higby from the Walker County Chamber of Commerce, they have rebranded. Now it is the Walker County Chamber of Commerce, not the Huntsville Dash, but the Walker County. Shannon over there had posted a beautiful bouquet of roses, and Elliott's Jewelers' name was on it. They're from Hartfield. He partners up with them, and so we appreciate all that Elliott does in our community. And, of course, here on this Thankful Thursday, big thank you to Pastor Jason and First Baptist Church. But once a month or so, depending on scheduling, we get to have some really awesome people come on and hang out with us. And now because of the new studio, Jason can still hang out with us, too.
Pretty cool.
So we finally have a little bit more room. But we are joined by Skye. Have to start, ladies first. Skye and Brad Carlton, Deep Clean, Texas. Skye, how you doing? Good to see you.
Doing
Welcome
pretty
in.
good. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Always.
It's been a little bit. Y'all have been busy.
We've been very busy. Yes. Yeah, we've missed being here, but yeah, it's been a busy time.
Brad, I know a lot of great things in the works too. Home building and fun building and everything you can imagine, right?
Yeah, that's the hope. Hopefully we get this house, I was going to say off the ground, but started on the ground here in the next 30 days or so. By the way, I really like your new digs.
Yeah.
Welcome.
It's nice. Roomy.
It's got a little bit more room, so
It does
so,
indeed, yeah.
so we're working on it. Well, it is good to catch up with you guys. I know there's a lot going on. This is the wonderful, they say Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year. I'll agree with that, but also I'm a fan of the Valentine's Day. I'm a fan. And you guys are sporting some Valentine's swag today. So let us know a little bit about what's going on, Skye.
Okay, so the whole reason why we're here is I wanted to promote this special time. This is our 6th annual Valentine's Date Night giveaway. It's a like and share promotion of the business, and so we gift a date night. So it includes, and I wish I had this. Let me read it.
Yeah, go for it.
Here,
I was going to eat
instead
some of the
trying to-
chocolates over there.
Please don't. Oh, I'll tell you actually what this actual basket. I'll tell you in a minute about this. Okay. This isn't the basket that's going to be part of our Valentine's date night.
Okay.
It's another special, but I brought it for a prop.
Okay. Perfect.
I like props. So the giveaway is a $150 steakhouse
Oh.
or a gift certificate to a steakhouse here in Huntsville. It's going to be 1836.
Good steaks.
Yeah, absolutely. We enjoy eating there. So we like to support local businesses when we can. It's a 1-hour massage, a bouquet of flowers, a bottle of wine or bubbly of some sort, a box of cookies. I'll tell you in a minute about that. And some satin hands from Mary Kay. Yeah. And a $500 Deep Clean Texas gift certificate towards a deep clean.
There you go.
Which is pretty huge.
Yeah. That's the big one, because what better gift can you give to your wife than a clean home where she doesn't have to do it?
That she doesn't have to lift a finger. Exactly. So, yeah. And I'm going to have 3 winners. We're going to have 3 winners. We're going to have one winner for each area or territory, I like to say. So as you know, Brad and we started this in Cypress where we lived. We've moved here about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And we've bridged the business this way. So so we'll have a Cypress and area territory. That's Tomball, Magnolia, Cypress, Northwest Houston, and then Montgomery area, which includes Conroe, like the Spring, Conroe, Montgomery area, and then Huntsville, which also includes Walker County.
I'm putting up my hand cheering here because this is our people here.
This is our home.
Yeah.
You want to know how to win or how to enter?
Yes.
Okay.
Let the people know.
Let the people know. So what you need to do is go to our Facebook account, find the post, and it's going to look a lot like, I don't know where you can see this, but it's going to look like a lot like this. Will you be our Valentine? And you're going to share publicly. That's important because a lot of people are sharing this post, but they must be posting it just so that their friends see it and not publicly. I don't know who is posting those. I can't. So to enter, it has to be publicly. And then, there's all kinds of ways to enter to win. You'll get an entry if you tag a friend. We'd love for you to go and follow the sponsors. That's a big thing because these sponsors, these are small business and they're local as well. And they're listed on the post.
Full disclaimer, if for some reason some sort of randomizer selects my wife or I, pass it on to somebody else because y'all are here on the show. But I did, as a courtesy, just shared it and tagged my wife.
Well, I
There
just
you go.
saw Rob, as soon as you mentioned that, he is spamming the Facebook, trying to get as many entries as possible.
Jason's texting his wife right now. Hey, enter.
And there's one more way, huge, that would be a huge appreciation to us, is one more way, and it's to donate to our new fundraiser, nonprofit. Thank you, babe.
okay.
Is the Hope and Home Foundation.
Nice.
We are the brand new owners of we opened up a nonprofit. It's a 501c. So
Wow.
you guys do get a receipt for that. But down here on the post, it says that it's got different levels. So you have 2 entries for $25, 5 entries for $50, and so on and so forth. There's a QR code, and for right now, we had to use a Zelle just because it's so brand new and I didn't get the information over to the fundraising page I wanted to use. So you have to go through the rigmarole of donating to it through Zelle, and that's such a pain. But it's a worthy cause, I promise.
Yeah, well, this is great. We just shared it, so go to our Facebook page and then make sure you follow Deep Clean's page and start promoting Deep Clean Texas. This is a really, really awesome opportunity. 6th year of doing this, Brad. 6 years of doing it. It's been a fun journey. It's really cool.
Yeah, we've had a good time. And, I just want to mention regarding our Hope and Home Foundation, we were partners with an outfit called Cleaning for a Reason, which, as you may recall, we give free cleans to cancer patients. That outfit is a wonderful organization. But Skye and I have always spoken that we would like to make it a little bit more local and a little bit more broad in scope, if you will. So the Hope and Home Foundation certainly we'll continue to clean for cancer patients, but we also want to extend it to veterans, widows, widowers, single moms, first responders,
homeschool families,
you name it, folks who we see in our local community who really truly need that type of help.
Pastoral staff.
Absolutely.
There you
I
go.
see the pastor shaking his head. You bet. He's all for that. So nominate him. And anyway, so that's where we wanted to go with that and kind of keep a little more control of it. And where those dollars go to.
Yeah, I think it's so great because yesterday we had 2 days ago, had a gentleman come in and was helping put in these new shutters, and we just start talking. And I think you can find the Lord in everything.
Absolutely.
And I just felt this burden of we need to pray for this man. And so as he left, and I think Josh was here with us too, and so was Tyler, and I said, is there anything that we can pray for? And he said, there is actually. He goes, the economy's really hard right now, and I'd like to just pray for things to improve for our family and for my daughter. And I started thinking, I don't know his whole story, but maybe here's a man that, he's on his own. Maybe it's just he and his daughter, and financially things are hard, and maybe he needs some help around the house. This would be a great opportunity for somebody to nominate someone like him, right?
Absolutely.
That's
so
right.
I think it's because now you can really focus this in hyper local. Not that the other organization isn't making an impact, because they are, but you guys are able to take care of people right here in this area. That is so great that you are doing this.
Thank you. I appreciate that. The donations are going to go towards, you know how it is. We need a website. We'd like to get the word out with flyers and so on and so forth. And so that's what the donations are going to go towards for right now. And then eventually we'll get some volunteers and et cetera, et cetera. We love the idea. We want to see where God's going to take this, but yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Well, we want people enter in to win for the Valentine's basket. That is going to be really cool. An opportunity to get involved. What are some other things that y'all been doing? I know we wanted to focus on the Valentine's today, but I know y'all been busy and just so much going on. Just maybe give us a business update real quick, Skye. The business I know is going good. And are y'all still looking for some workers here in Huntsville? I know that's always an ask, so maybe let's highlight that too.
Always. How can I say this? He is our recruiter, and so he's the guy to talk about this. This is one area that I just kind of step back and allow Brad to just shine. So
shine. I don't know about that. Strong word, but yeah, the need is still the same. The workforce pool is for whatever reason a little tough to get. Pluck good people from. So if any of the listeners have somebody that they know that's energetic and honest and has integrity and is reliable, all those things that we want to see in a company that we believe we're stewards of, that the good Lord has given us, then contact us, let us know. Typically, we find folks through Indeed and other platforms and through our website. You can go onto our website, as a matter of fact, and there's a place there where you can fill out an application. And so, the need is always the same. I know we could grow significantly faster if we just hired kind of anybody. But again, we understand that we're sending people, our employees are going into your home, your inner sanctum, so to speak, right? And so we don't want to just send anybody in there. We vet them extremely well. People in fact, a lot of the folks that are candidates, they balk at how much we look into their backgrounds and check, put them through a pre-employment drug test. We do all kinds of things to make sure that the folks that we get are the type of people that we would want to represent us, because we represent Christ. So that's it.
I love it. Jason, one thing I wanted to bring Jason into the conversation on this part, just as a business and being a faith-based business, that is so key. And I'm so thankful for friends like y'all that are very open about that, because when you put the Lord in anything, it doesn't mean that everything's going to go rosy and peachy, but it does mean that you've got a foundation that when adversity does come, and it happens to all of us, it happens personally and in business, but when that adversity comes, your foundation is on the right footwork. Jason, I just love the faith-based component that Brad and Skye have to their business. I think that's so critical.
Well, I think, as they have said, and many times we've had the opportunity to get to know each other, and many times they've talked about that being as a foundation of your business. I think that's so key, because it transforms everything that you do. We talk about transformation, life transformation stories, and the fact that you guys want to start a 501c3, the fact that you guys help those cancer patients and our other people that are in need, that this doesn't become a job. Mm-hmm. It becomes a ministry.
Right.
And it's like my dad taught me years ago, whenever we were working, because we'd be out there, we'd live out in the country, be working and building fence or whatever, and it was, but hard work, but he taught me that whatever you do, do it as unto the Lord. Yep. Do it as unto the Lord. And I think we as Christians then, we have an obligation to support those businesses that are rooted in faith, and what better way to bless your family and than to have someone come in and clean your house, and not only that, but them to be rooted in faith. I think that's fundamental of what we do. I know a lot of times here in the church, people will be looking for a mechanic, or they're looking for someone to clean their house, or they're looking for some other service. But what they want first and foremost is recommendations from the church to say, hey, is there a Christian person? Is there somebody in our church? Is there somebody that we know that we could first go to, so that we can ultimately have trust in those individuals?
And I think too, Skye and Brad, as Jason was talking about the ministry, it becomes a ministry, but it's a mission. And here's the neat part of it. And this is why I brought this up, because I want this to get out to the people who are watching or listening today, is that when you call on Deep Clean Texas, you're not just getting a married couple that has a business that just wants to do what they do. They truly want to make a difference in people's lives. And I say that not because y'all come on and sponsor a little bit here and there and help us out. I say it because it's true. Y'all really do want to make a difference in the lives of people. And I want people to hear that this morning, because I think that's what sets a lot of businesses apart. Some people are in the business just for the business. You guys are in the business for the people, and that will come back tenfold. And I think it's incredible. So that's something I was just on my heart that I wanted to share.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. And when you're living life for Christ, I think that it's a big responsibility. You've got that big C, you're wearing, across your chest. And I think that you're holding yourself to a higher standard. And I think that I've let our team know, if I'm holding myself to a higher standard, and I'm holding you to a higher standard as well. And so our customers are holding us to a higher standard. And that's big. That's big. You're going to do everything with integrity. And I can sleep at night in peace.
I thought whenever you said the big C, I know you were talking about Christ, but I thought about that song, I'm going to the big D and don't mean Dallas. So I said, I'm talking about the big C and I don't mean cleaning.
I don't mean cleaning. That's right. That's right.
So,
Man, to be in your head.
Right. Stay out of it, because there's all sorts of things going on there.
It's entertaining, though.
It is, absolutely.
Yeah, he doesn't need TV.
Sit in a room and entertain himself.
Josh, I think Josh and I were talking a couple days ago, and I was just in here, and I had some tea that I drink sometimes every once in a while. It's been around for like 15 years. It's Arizona tea, and And I was sitting here humming to myself, and I was like, man, I feel hyper today. And he's like, yeah, you're talking to yourself a lot. I said, you know, I did that growing up. I didn't really have a lot of friends, so I talked to myself all the time. He goes, and then he told me, he goes, well, my dad used to do that a little bit. so thanks, Josh, for sharing that with us. But
He's an edifier.
that's it. Well, I do want to circle back briefly before we wrap up here. If folks are out there, we want them to enter the contest and go to our social media feed again to find out more on that. And it's going to be an awesome opportunity for somebody today to enter in and to help spread awareness of not only what Deep Clean Texas is doing, but their sponsors. Do you have a list? And Skye, sorry for tossing this at you, but of the folks who did help out with this year.
Right. The sponsors
Can you
are
mention those?
listed on the post, and
Okay.
I will. So one to mention is one of the things that's going to be included in the gift basket are the cookies. And the reason why I'm mentioning them is because they're a couple of our friends. They are also a couple who run businesses together. And they're Karen and Tim Moss. She's a baker. She bakes customized cookies. She's done ours. You can put your logo on the cookies and everything, and they're delicious. And
I know Tim. He came to our group and he brought some
you're
cookies.
so right. You were there.
Oh, they're good, Jason. Yeah,
The WCRC.
They like print them. Like they have like.
That's correct.
Yeah, they can print the cookies.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they're delicious too.
Yeah, they are.
And so the cookies are going to be from her business. The Lone Star Cookie Company is what they're called.
Awesome.
But he's also in pest control, and he was the biggest sponsor. So he got the biggest name. In fact, this whole thing looks like it's coming from him, I think, and that's wildlife removal and pest experts. So real quick, you can go. I have tagged all of their businesses.
Yeah, I see them on the post here.
Yep, you can go and you can like them and you can follow them. The other thing that I wanted to say is the basket. This is, like I said, not the basket that you're winning. The flowers are going to be real, and you're going to have the cookies. But this basket here is going to a silent auction for tomorrow at Cherish.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Cherish Your Imagination.
Cherish
Kay's
Your
event for the Dolly Parton Imagination
Correct.
Library. Cool.
So we're going to go drop this off at one of her locations. And this is a basket for her silent auction. And this is a date night kind of massage oil, a Robin Hood with Kevin Costner, a movie. You can't, candles, bubbly, and chocolate. So what I said was, if this doesn't fire you up to go and to participate, then your wood's wet right there.
Yeah, there you go. Well, that's great.
I wanted to mention something right before they leave. I was just going onto their website and checking out some things, and something caught my attention because we live in a community where there's a lot of college students and there's a lot of apartments in the area. And we recently had this with my, it seems like every year, if you have college students, they're always moving out and moving into another place. Mm-hmm. And I love this move out cleaning because we had to do that ourselves for our boys last year.
You would have gladly paid somebody to take that.
Yeah. But I'm thinking about all those college students out there. Instead of having to pay that, we thought we cleaned that thing pretty well, and then we still got a bill for $150 a piece from the landlord to tell us that it wasn't clean enough, or we missed the oven or something like that. But yeah, I thought that they have a move out cleaning deal for anybody that owns a rental property, that if you're moving out, they'll come in and clean the entire apartment to make sure it's in pristine condition. I like that.
So you won't get those charges.
You'll get your deposit back.
Yeah.
That's our goal.
Get
That's
your deposit
everybody's
back.
goal.
That's what we were working towards, and we failed. Yeah. And it took a lot. We had to haul. This is a great idea because we had to haul vacuums over there. We had to go to Walmart, buy the cleaning supplies. We're down on the floor getting the baseboards and all this, and oh my goodness! Still had to $150 a person, a kid. So we ended up having to pay $300 anyway, and that's on top of the deposit that we owed.
I was wondering, Jason and I were playing basketball. His knees were all scuffed up in his elbows. I said, "What happened?" He goes, "Man, I was cleaning that floor." No, I'm just kidding.
There you go. Move out cleaning with Deep Clean Texas. Let them come and clean your apartment when you move out.
That is
Absolutely.
a huge deal for college students here. Didn't even think about that. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Well, before y'all wrap up, it's been fun. I always enjoy having y'all. Anything else that y'all'd like to mention today?
Yeah. I want to give this Honor Cafe.
Oh,
It's
sweet.
a gift card,
yes.
$25 to you for. I mean, you can have it.
No, we're gonna give
breakfast
this
on us,
away.
or
We're-
give it away.
We're
to
gonna
a caller.
we're gonna give it away now.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's do this
That's
this
a
morning.
great place, by the way. They're
It is.
great people.
Chris is a great guy.
Yeah, we've been over there many times. I recommend the fish and chips.
Okay.
Have you
Try
tried
to
that?
try to eat his omelet.
Oh, really? I haven't
Oh,
been
Build your own
my.
omelet, man. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah,
It's a competition between you and the chef.
You know that
Can you do it?
the fish and chips. Have you had that?
I have not.
You need to try it because it's not catfish. You know, it's a redfish that they
Oh.
fry. It's really really good.
Well, what we're going to do this morning on behalf of Deep Clean Texas is we're going to give this away, $25 gift card
Okay.
to Honor Cafe. Text in the keyword clean,
There you go.
CLEAN, to 936-339-0139, 936-339-0139. Your chance to win $25 to Honor Cafe. That's going to go a long way. So thank y'all. Clean is the keyword.
Clean is the
So
keyword.
there you go.
That's for your wife.
All right.
All righty. Well, thank y'all so much. Brad, any final comments? We'll let Skye have the last word. But Brad, any
always.
final?
No, I mean I appreciate you guys having us on. I'm really happy to see how your ministry is moving along.
Yes.
Amen.
That blesses
Yeah.
my heart.
Yep.
And we'll be praying for you.
Yep.
Amen.
Always.
Well, Skye, thank
Yep.
you. Any
Thanks for
final?
your
You
support.
told me no, but any final comments?
No, just thank you for your support. Thank you, Huntsville, for your support. Everybody, this has just been fun. It's been fun. Thanks for having us on.
You bet.
And you guys have a good rest of your day. It's good to see you.
Good to see
and,
you.
Yeah.
And I
Good
wanted
luck to the winner.
I wanted to thank you guys for your continued partnership with us. You know, everything that folks do, no matter how small, no matter how large, makes such a huge difference. And y'all's monthly support of this program not only allows us for people to get to know you, but our content has remained free on the website. We don't ever plan on charging for that. We have seen tremendous growth on our social media accounts because of the news and the stories, and also the nonprofits that we're able to bring onto this show and also on our website. So I always want to make sure that I personally thank y'all and thank y'all publicly, because I don't think a lot of people realize the work behind the scenes that goes on with these nonprofits trying to promote them. And I couldn't do that without y'all's support and others. So thank you guys for what you do. And I say that for you watching this morning. Give them a call. Support those who are supporting this program. They are doing great work. They have been to our house. Y'all need to come back, by the way. I need to call you. But they did a deep clean on our house, and my wife was ecstatic, and it got me out of trouble for a few weeks. So I need to have them come back. So
Well, we would be glad
Great
to.
Valentine's Day gift.
awesome. Well, thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
We'll
Thanks
step
for having
aside.
us.
We'll take a break. I want to talk to Jason coming back. News you can use. And also, I thought you only played teams 4 times in a year. That's not the case in the NBA this year, because my Spurs, back on the winning track, they beat the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Wow.
We'll
Big-
talk about
big
that
news. Big
and news you can use when we come back. Stay with us. This is Good Morning Huntsville.
The church should be transformational. And maybe you've never been to church, or maybe life has left you feeling lost. But Jesus says, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." At First Baptist Church Huntsville, a harbor of hope, we're not trying to fit in with the world. We're here to help you step into something greater, a fresh start, a new life in Christ. Join us this Sunday at 10:45 and see what God can do in your life. Visit fbchuntsville.org. Hope is here, and we're saving a seat just for you.
Loving Jesus, loving people side by side. In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
Hi, I'm Billy Carlton, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Hi, I'm Kanan. No, listening to Barrett Radio.
Coming at you live from Studio 1229J. Hope lives here. It's time for none other than the news leader. That's the news from the news leader, Jason Bay, with news you can absolutely use. Jason?
Thank you very much, Rob. And this is News You Can Use, coming at you live from 1229 Avenue J. And this is news that you can use at your home, surrounding your dinner table, objects for discussion. Maybe not on the first page, maybe not on the second page, maybe not on the page at all. But these are things that you can discuss with your family and hopefully to bring back that much needed element of communication in the home. So here we go, Rob. First of all, you know what this Sunday is. This Sunday, February the 8th, is Super Bowl Sunday.
Ooh, honestly, forgot about it.
Well, and that's what I was going to hit on because it seems like, and maybe it's just because we live in Texas, but it seems like this Super Bowl has been one of the most, and just me, I'm not reading any news article, but it seems like one of the most least anticipated Super Bowls that I can really think of because there's not a lot of big name players. A lot of these players are newer guys, the quarterbacks that are representative of both teams. I mean, can you even name them?
The only one I know is the quarterback of Seattle. Was it Darnold? Darnold? Am I saying that right? Sam Darnold?
Darnold. Yeah, there you go.
Darnold Duck.
Anyway, so Super Bowl Sunday, check that out. This Sunday, the kickoff starts around 6:30 and usually lasts about 4 hours. And here's just some fun facts about the Super Bowl. This is a rematch of Super Bowl from 2015 when the Patriots looked to break their tie with the Steelers for the most Super Bowl wins. Right now, the Patriots are sitting at 7, and they are about to make their 12th Super Bowl appearance. So if they win this one, they'll be at 8, sitting alone at the top with the most Super Bowl wins of any NFL franchise. So that's one reason, Rob, to root against the Patriots.
Yeah. Can you believe that here are the Patriots without Tom Brady back in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I heard that Tom Brady picked against the Patriots and picked the Seattle Seahawks, who are favorites coming into this game. The Patriots, I think, are around a 4.5 point underdog in this game. The Seattle is predicted to win.
What are you doing on DraftKings? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
The location is going to be held in Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. It's the second time that it has hosted the game. It previously hosted the Super Bowl 50 in 2016. That is Santa Clara is near San Francisco, so a lot of the events prior to the Super Bowl from this week have been held around San Francisco.
First 50 to enter get a free pair of pants, Levi's pants.
Yeah, exactly. Levi's Stadium. I didn't even know there was a stadium named after jeans, but there you go.
When's the last time you wore Levi's?
It's been a while.
But I bet you had Jinkos back in the day, Jay. Did you ever have the Jinkos? You remember those?
I can't remember. Mostly it was Wranglers from Walmart.
Now, see, you were you were a step up. Mine were Rustlers from Walmart.
Yeah, I remember those.
You wear them 5 times and then you use them as dog bed material.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Well, one of the most controversial things about this Super Bowl is the halftime show. You heard about this?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so Bad Bunny is the halftime show appearance, and Bad Bunny has had some controversial things in the media, and a lot of them have been more political opinions, even as early as last week during the Grammys, had some political hot opinions on things that were going on politically. So it's kind of left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths with the halftime show. So there is an alternative halftime show that's being produced by Turning Point that will be live on YouTube, that you can check that out if you want to switch over.
I feel like there's going to be millions of people watching that other one. I just feel that because I see it promoted and I'm not going on a political thing,
Right.
Obviously we don't do that, but I really do feel like that they're going to get, like, Kid Rock is set to headline that. I was thinking, man, wouldn't it have been cool if they could have got George Strait?
Yeah,
that would have been pretty cool.
That would have been good. I think so many of the current artists just try to stay away from it altogether because it's been politicized so much, and that's the sad thing about it. I mean, the Super Bowl was one of those things that really just kind of rose above that. We all were kind of united with the fact that that we're all Americans and we're all trying to enjoy that night, as Americans to celebrate the most popular sport in America, NFL. But it does seem like the halftime show and the things surrounding it this year have become highly politicized, and it is probably, in my opinion, a bad or a misunderstanding of who the target audience of the NFL is.
Yeah.
I think they missed the mark a little bit.
I think, back in the day, you just got to go back to the 90s when a certain team was winning quite a bit. Those were the good old days of the NFL.
Good old days. That's right.
America's team.
Well, if you want to go to the Super Bowl and you want to make your way to San Francisco and see this game that's going to be played this Sunday, the cheapest tickets available start between $4,500 and $5,000, with 100 level seats starting around $6,500. So there you go. NBC will be covering the game this year. Mike Tirico will be calling his first Super Bowl ever. So can you imagine having that laid at your feet?
You know what? One of the best things that I like about the Super Bowl is to listen to it on the radio on Westwood One with none other than the world-renowned Kevin Harlan. I had a chance to meet Kevin one time. We had a meeting on Zoom back in the day, and he was giving me some advice. And it's just the best guy to call radio games. You've heard of Kevin?
Yeah.
He does the Super Bowl on Westwood One radio every year, and it is unbelievable.
I love listening to the to sports on the radio in general, because like you listening to the Aggies or the Cowboys, or I like those hometown announcers because they have just a little more at stake in the match. They are associated with the team, and I try to take the opportunity to listen to at least one game a year of the Cowboys or the Aggies and listen to it on the radio. Even if I have the TV going, I'll turn it down and listen, because it's just something, well, not only nostalgic, but beautiful about calling the game that nobody can see. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I messed up on? I just thought about this, and we probably could have made this happen. and I feel bad about missing this opportunity with you, Jason. I guarantee I could have had Babe Loffenberg on the phone and given us his take on the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, we should have
And
done
I didn't
that.
even
There
think
you
about.
go.
I didn't even think about. He's the analyst that works with Brad Sham for the Cowboys
yeah,
Radio
I know
Network.
that. I know it.
He's a good man.
Yeah, his voice. He's on TV. He was a TV guy too up there, sportscaster.
I didn't even think about that. Could have been my gift to you, was having Babe
Man,
Loffenberg
you know
on
what
the
I
show.
would love to hear. I don't know how well you know him, but I don't know him at all. But I just know of his story about his son. You hear about his story,
Yeah, Luke,
with- and the journey of faith that they went through. It would be awesome to have him come on and talk about that, because I know that was a really hard time in their life. But it was also he has a tremendous testimony that he shares about going through the loss of his son.
Yeah, he's a good man.
Yeah, okay, so NBC is covering it. The NBC this year sold all of their ad space for the Super Bowl prior to the season. Now, they didn't wait to see who was going to be in the Super Bowl. They just sold it ahead of the season even starting, with a 30-second spot averaging $8 million. That's roughly $266,667 per second.
Good.
So
Now, how much was that again?
$8 million for a 30-second spot.
And how much did it break down to each second?
$266,667 per second.
Man, that's one house in Huntsville every second.
Yeah, no kidding. A nice house, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, that's you're going to be checking it out this Sunday. Usually I like to get together with people, or at least my family, and sometimes my sister and her family comes over. And I think last year, the year before, you came over and we watched it together. And I've always liked the idea of having a Super Bowl party, but I don't know, just this year the motivation for even getting together was just not there. I'm really not excited about it at all. And I think from what and it's probably because there's two northern teams, the New England
as we look over to Chad.
New England and Seattle, two teams that are far, far away. But I am interested in this. I know that the Super Bowl will get good ratings just because it is the Super Bowl. But I am interested in seeing what the ratings for this Super Bowl compare to other Super Bowls.
Yeah, you asked if I was going to check it out. I am going to check out.
You're checking out.
And it probably won't. Hey, he may not. But we'll see. Flip Joshua Mashi. Chad's in here. He's just looked at me. He's like, oh no. I just wanted Chad's take this year on who he thinks will win.
Chad is a Detroit guy.
Chad is a Detroit. Chad, your take. He's our youth minister here at First. Who are you even remote? Are you even remotely interested?
I side completely with Jason on this. But if I had to pick
Smart
a winner,
man.
if I had to pick a winner, I would say Seattle.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the favorite, and most people think that Seattle's going to take the crown. But like I said, I mean, let's be honest, who really cares?
I just wanted to, yeah, exactly. I wanted to hear Chad's take on it. Seattle. I would go for Seattle too.
He's a big Detroit Lions fan, and I love the story of that franchise. And if they were, I was pulling for them from the very beginning because of Dan Campbell and just the worker mentality of how they rebuilt that franchise, just working hard, and I love Dan Campbell. He's a good Aggie and former Dallas Cowboy, and he's gone up there to fix things, and he has.
I pull for the Lions only because of Home Improvement and Tim Allen. Because he's a huge Detroit Lions fan. So.
Yes. All right. Moving on away from the Super Bowl, I found a couple of articles that I want to share with you, Rob, that I think will be interesting for people to hear. One of the places that Rob likes to shop, and I haven't, and also Chad, by the way, that I have not had the opportunity to shop at, but as I've read articles, I keep coming across this company over and over again. And it's Costco. And the title of this article, coming from the Street Magazine, says, Costco solves the problem that plagues Walmart and Target. Can you think of what this problem is that Walmart and Target have and that Costco doesn't?
Maybe bulky, like, I don't know. I have no idea. That's the speedy checkout.
Okay, so here is the thing that Walmart and Target are dealing with now a lot more than ever. It's theft.
Huh.
Walmart loses roughly $3 billion every year to theft. And Target announced 9 store closures across New York City, Seattle, San Francisco, Portland, and Oregon. And the reason they announced that they were closing these stores was due to high levels of theft. And they said, we cannot continue operating these stores because theft and organized retail crime are threatening the safety of our team and guests and contributing to unsustainable business performance. With the changing landscape of how retail is done, using much more automated systems and using much more self-checkout, Walmart and Target and other big box stores has seen an increasing amount of theft. In fact, you've seen Target stores and Walmart stores put in AI. Even the dollar store did this. I don't know if you shop at the dollar store much.
The General
Dollar. They put in all these self-checkouts, and then they took them all out. Don't use this. And it was because of the theft that was happening in those stores and others like them. So even if you go to Target, they have self-checkout there, but they have a little guy now that kind of circulates the area, and they may even come over and scan your items as you go through. So it's a big deal. But with Costco and even Sam's, they have eliminated this by having, number one, you have to pay for a membership to go in the door. And I always often wondered, why do they check that membership? I mean, you can just walk in there pretty much, but the reason why is because they figure that if you buy a membership there, you're less likely to steal from there.
And you can't share that anymore, by the way. You know, back in the day, just being honest, I mean, everybody has shared their membership to something, to Netflix or YouTube TV. Well, now at Costco, they have the monitors now to where when they scan your card, if it's not your face on that screen, they will ask you to leave. And it's, I guess it's a good thing.
And then the other thing that they've done to eliminate theft is to control the entrances and to control the exits. By doing that, both Sam's and Costco has seen a dramatic decrease, and they don't deal with the losses that their other retail stores deal with. So they can produce their products and sell them at a cheaper rate. In fact, I've read several articles here that says that one of the best places to shop if you're looking for stuff that's not as expensive is Sam's or Costco, because their prices are consistently lower than their counterparts of Walmart and Target, and even though Walmart and Sam's are owned by the same company. But that's a large portion of why they can offer it cheaper, is not just that it's in bulk, which it is in bulk, but also because they're not dealing with the issues of theft like these others are.
Every day, I typically have slacks on. It's very rare that I wear jeans, and those pants that I get, guess where they come from? Costco.
Costco. There you go.
I've never paid more than $20 for a pair of pants.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, I've never even been to Costco. Never, not once. And people have tell me all the time how great it is, and even like the food you get there and stuff like that. And I need to go because we're over in College Station a lot, and they have one over there. But you probably shop at the one in the Woodlands. Is that correct?
Yeah, I guess it's that Shenandoah. Shenandoah, Conroe area. Yeah, this is one we go to.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Target, this is another article, and it says new Target policy makes some shoppers uncomfortable. Now, Target has been dealing with decreasing sales compared to their counterpart of Walmart for the last few years, and they are experiencing, they're trying to rectify this problem of why is it that they're losing customers so quickly, and what should they do? So what they're trying to do is improve the customer experience. And so here's a new policy that Target has. The struggling retailer recently implemented a new 10-4 policy, as USA Today reports. It says, Target employees, this is for their employees, who are within 10 feet of customers have to smile, make eye contact, wave, and use welcoming body languages. Target employees who are within 4 feet of customers have to personally greet those shoppers, smile, and offer to help. And they said, we know when our guests are greeted, feel welcomed, and get the help they need, that translates to guest love and loyalty.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I think they're missing the mark here because you don't want to, just to force, congeniality upon your employees. That can have mixed results. But shoppers are mixed on this new policy, and it's going all over the internet. One customer said, literally, please don't. I will spend any time at Target making sure I'm not within 4 feet of any employee, one person wrote. So I don't know. What do you think about that, Rob?
Well,
now if you go to Target and you see an overly friendly customer service person there, know that that's what they were instructed to do.
Well, he won't do it again, and he certainly won't do it on camera, but the way that Chad did is exactly how I thought that you would be greeted. These folks missed the mark, and let me say, I'm not being negative to them, but here's where they missed the mark. I was deeply disappointed the last time I went in because they had gotten rid of the food area where they had pizza and hot dogs.
Oh, they did? I haven't been in there since
completely gone.
They took it out, huh?
They've wiped it out, and it's gone. I would be more of a customer from you keeping that than versus somebody within. What is there like a proximity alarm that goes off? Like when they get to 10 feet, they're wearing a little badge, and it starts going, and then you know that you have to.
I don't know. I'm picturing in my head they have like a manager there that's like a shark that's looking around like, you better smile, you better smile. Give that high five to that customer right now.
I think that there's a new product we can develop here that you wear, like kind of like a strap that you wear, and it goes on the back of your head, and it's got 4 prongs. And as you get within 10 feet, it automatically stretches you to a smile.
You know,
there you go.
We need to implement that policy at the church. You know, the 10-4 policy. When you're within 10 feet of somebody, you have to do some sort of welcoming body language. But when you're in 4 feet, you got to go for the full hug.
we may notice attendance go down.
Yeah, exactly. I'm never going back to that church. That's some sort of cult.
Our 10-4 policy is if you need help, we're here for you. We're going to share the good news of Christ. That's our 10-4 policy.
10-4. Hey, you got me. Yes, we got you. Oh, and speaking of, so here's another article that I thought it connects right with it. You said that you noticed in Target they took out the Pizza Hut that was there. You know, their pizza,
the fake pizza. Yeah,
that's okay.
It was good though.
Well, Pizza Hut, as we broke here on News You Can Use a few weeks ago, pizza in America, the sales for pizza are down across the board, and Pizza Hut is experiencing the decrease in sales, and they are going to close 250 stores across America. And they're also reevaluating what the most profitable dishes are. And Yum Brands, who owns Pizza Hut, along with several other fast food chains, is trying their best to sell it because it's not making enough money for them at this point because of the way that pizza is consumed in America. So there you go.
Do you know what is a fast rising food here in America that I didn't even know existed because it's European, and I only learned this from Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank. I watch Shark Tank every day. I love that show. But do you have any idea what food apparently is outselling pizza here in the United States? And it ties into what you just read about. According to Mr. Wonderful, by the way. I don't know if it's factual.
Well, it's good enough for News You Can Use.
Yes, 5th page. I've never heard of this food before, but it's in the same category as pot stickers. Okay, you know the pot stickers, the little, what do you like I don't know how to describe it, but these pierogies.
Oh, okay, wow.
Pierogies are now, according to Mr. Wonderful, and he was very serious about it. He said that they are outselling pizza now in the United States. Why haven't we ever heard of them?
Yeah, exactly.
Have you ever heard of a pierogi?
No, I haven't, but I'm trying to picture it in my head. Maybe we should chat it.
They're these things right here. They kind of look, the pot stickers. It kind of looks like them.
Yeah.
But it's a European delicacy.
It's probably because you can hold it in your hand and eat it while you're driving.
It's a food in Lebanon called sambusik.
Oh, well, there we go. Multicultural news you can use.
Absolutely.
Right from the source, Joshua Mashi.
Went from the 5th page immediately to the headline of the first page.
I mean, we are going next level here.
Pierogies.
There you go. All right. This is from Inc. magazine. Warren Buffett, you know him, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Billionaire. He has boiled down his parenting advice to one simple sentence: science agrees. In this article that's written on the life of Warren Buffett and his money, they also interviewed, he's 95 years old now, and they've also looked at his children. And unlike many very, very wealthy people, his children seem to be fairly adjusted, normal, not into drugs and all this other kind of thing, you know, that sometimes can befall these very wealthy people. And he brings it down to one sentence. I thought this, when I read this article, it caught my attention with the headline. I thought it was a good piece of advice. He says, the Buffett family patriarch sounds like a cool and collected parent, but young Warren Buffett drew a deeper lesson from his father's quiet confidence that his son would eventually figure out how to do the right thing. Here it is. If you want to have good children, be a good parent. It's good advice. I mean, you think about it. We often teach our children. I always tell people this, and when I'm preaching, if children will listen to what you say, but they'll do what you do. If he says you don't give them lectures about doing bad things when you're doing the bad things, and they're acting just like they're acting just like the teenagers, and it's true. We need to, if we want to experience our children and their growth, we have to be committed to the very same things. If we want our children to grow closer to the Lord and make Christ a priority in their life, guess what? You make Christ a priority in your life, not just at church, but at home, and the way that you handle conflict and the way that you handle adversity and difficulty. How does that come across? I think it's a great advice for anyone. If you want to have good children, work hard to be a good parent. Let them see the same principles that you want them to live by, lived out in yourself, first and foremost.
We spend time every night as a family praying before we go to sleep. I think that's something really important. And I remember it reminded me of my grandmother when I would go to visit her, that we would always say the Lord's Prayer. And as you get older, but it was like the children's version of it. And you go back and look at that, and it was actually kind of scary because, it was like, and if I die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. My grandma used to pray that with me. They've changed the wording of that. But what I'm getting at is my children and wife and I, we pray at night. And I've noticed that the little ones, they get distracted easily in the middle of the prayer. And I'm trying to teach them that this is a very serious time, that we need to pay attention, that we're speaking to the Lord. And so last night I said, well, I always talk about, there's always something that's special about when you pray on your knees, just that act of obedience.
Yeah.
And so last night,
humility.
The children were just bouncing all over the place, and I was getting frustrated, and I was in the middle of the prayer, and they were hollering, and I was like, we're praying, y'all need to calm down. And so and we usually just do it, they're on the bed or the couch. And last night we were there in the bedroom, and Jason, I just said, you know what, I'm gonna go to the edge of the bed and get on my knees and pray. In the middle, I changed it. The children saw that, Caden and Braylon, and they came and they got on their knees right next to me, and they calmed down immediately.
That's awesome.
And then we ended up praying, and there was no more distraction. And as you were reading that, I was thinking about that, I want my children to remember that when they grow up, and how important that is.
Yeah. Oh man, I mean, Rob, you're making such a big impact in your children, but I think that is exactly right. We're in a series here about the family, and as we go through this series, we're going to be talking about. Right now we're just talking about the origin of the family. Last week we talked about the fall of the first family and how sin enters into the home. We're going to go through this series and talk about different aspects, but one of them is definitely what the Scripture says about raising children. And I think that is one of the areas that I mean, none of us are perfect. As parents, we all struggle. We all try to find that balance with life and with our children, and a balance between screen time and all the things that are pulling them away, and family time, and the balance of schoolwork and communication in the home. All those things are so important. And how do you navigate that? I think the Scripture gives us great practical advice for how to do those things. And I think this series on the family is going to be instrumental in helping families out there, not because I'm imparting wisdom to people from the pulpit. No, the Word of God is imparting wisdom to all of us, and we all need to apply, including myself and all of us here. So that's just a brief advertisement as we think about. I love what he says. If you want to have good children, first of all, be a good parent. Before we close with News You Can News, I want to hit this last article from Houston Chronicle. It came out yesterday, just as a public service announcement to our drivers out there. Conroe Police Department has a current initiative targeting drivers using their cell phones. Now, already in a 2-week campaign, they've issued over 200 tickets. So, and one of the police officers says that distracted driving is a major factor in motor vehicle crashes in society. Nearly 1 in 5 crashes on Texas road were caused by distracted drivers, in which 373 people died. While state law made it illegal to read, write, or text while driving in 2017, is continued to be a problem on roads across the state. And those who violate the law can face a fine up to $200. Between January 20th and January 30th, officers from the Conroe PD issued 204 tickets, 245 warnings, and made 3 arrests. So if you're driving anywhere, put your phone down. But be aware that in the Conroe area, they're looking for people that are driving using their phone and looking at their phones.
Our friend Deanna Irwin comes on this show periodically, and she tragically lost her daughter Peyton to someone that was texting and driving, and it was a tragedy, and that's why she started the Peyton Irwin Foundation to stop distracted driving. And I'll tell you what, if you're in this community especially and you're doing that, you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be doing it anywhere, but you especially shouldn't be doing it here, because there are times, and I'll be honest, there are times where something on my phone will pop up and I'm tempted, and I'm reminded of Deanna and the mission and her daughter. And it is, if you don't know that story, you need to go to the Peyton Irwin Foundation and read about it, because you will never, ever want to pick up your phone again here in this community especially. So
I mean,
it's a good message.
It's a very big temptation. It really is. And especially for our teenage drivers, and it's we that grew up without phones can kind of put them away and forget about them. But nowadays, I think it's harder and harder for them to set it aside. And the newer cars have hands-free devices, but even with the hands-free devices, when you're talking to somebody on the phone over the speakers, it's still a distraction from what you're doing. So there you go. News you can use for this day, February the 5th, correct?
Yes, sir. Well, we'll wrap it up here in just a few seconds. Jason, one question I had for you, talking about phones. Did you have the huge phone case back when those were popular? In the
belt?
the early 2000s. Did you have that, the big case?
No. I always tried to find a phone that would fit in my pocket. I love this very beginning, the little
Nokia.
Narrow phones.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like a candy bar size that you could slip in your pocket. I always liked those. And then, of course, when the iPhone came out, we all carry around something very similar, whether it's an iPhone or a different device. But no, I wasn't a holster wearer
phone guy.
No, it wasn't that. But
we had a guy, my cousin and I used to always poke fun. We'd joke around about this guy. We were in high school, so at that point you were allowed to do that. And as you get older, you don't do that anymore.
Right.
But in high school, you can poke a little fun. We were poking fun. You shouldn't do that anyways. We were poking fun because this guy would have that thing, and I think he did it on purpose so you could intentionally see it, because he would walk facing his hip towards you, because he wanted everybody to see that phone. And then when it would ring, he had the ringer up, and this guy was in church. He would have it turned up all the way, and then he would answer, "Hello." It was like He's like, I got me a big phone. Look at my phone.
Yeah. That was the day. That was the thing back in the day. You put your phone on your hip to let everybody know that you're serious. Nowadays with the kids, and it drives me nuts, is they walk around with the earbuds in their ears all the time. You seen this? All the time. Just wherever they're going, they're so important. They got to be connected with their earbud, and my kids will wear one in this ear so they can hear out the other side. But just in case, they're connected in this ear. I'm like, give me a break.
They want to know. Well, hey, we're going to wrap it up. Jason, real quick, final segment here. We'll just transition right into this. You already kind of highlighted it briefly, but the sermon series continues. Family matters. We want folks to come on Sunday, be a part of the service here at First at 10:45. What can the people expect?
Okay, yes, thank you, Rob, because something, as a minister and shepherd of the people, I think it's important that we always remain flexible, right? When the Holy Spirit works and moves in people's lives, you always need to remain flexible to what God is doing. Even in the midst of a series where you've planned it out, remain flexible. I've often said, blessed are the flexible, for they shall not become bent out of shape, right? So
that was pretty good.
Yeah. So
have you always said that, or did you just make that up?
Somebody else said that. Oh. No. Blessed are the flexible, for they shall not be bent out of shape. So one of the things that happened to one of our members here, and you know the story, but it was a miraculous story of one of our members and one of our deacons here. He was driving along the freeway in Houston, and he noticed somebody that had a flat tire. He's a great guy, and he pulled over. It was a mother with some kids in the back seat of her car. And it was a busy, I think it was I-10 in Houston. It was a busy road, but she was on the shoulder and really was trying to figure out what to do next. And so she got out, and he got her out of the car with the kids and moved them off onto the shoulder of the road and he started trying to figure out what he was going to do next. And the police officer then came and parked his car behind with the lights on to let people know that there was somebody up there. Well, in the meantime, a car behind them lost control, hit the police car and hit that car. And it was a terrible crash. And he was thrown from the accident site. He saw the accident about to occur and ran and jumped. And about that time was when the car collided. And he, out of his generosity of heart, he was trying to help somebody. And man, right then his life could have easily been taken if he was looking just in the other direction. He hurt his shoulder. He broke part of his shoulder, and he broke part of his ankle in the accident. But he said if I hadn't have been there, he knows that those children would have been killed in that crash from them being in the back seat. So he's going to share his testimony this Sunday, and God has blessed him as a great man of God and a great speaker. And I know anybody that's listening will be blessed to hear his testimony. So what I've done is I've just said, no, this is more important than what we're doing in the series. We'll get back to the series next week. But this Sunday, I want you to come and hear the testimony of Spencer Burkhalter and how God used this event to not only open up his eyes to the reality of the brevity of life, but also just to use his faith and his trust in God to help other people in need. And I think it's going to be, I know it's going to be a great service. I know it'll be moving, and I would just encourage anybody out there to come and hear Spencer Burkhalter's testimony this Sunday.
Yeah, come 10:45. We'll be here. Well, friends, that'll wrap it up. 9:10 here in the morning on this thankful Thursday. Thank you to Pastor Jason Bay and Joshua Mashi behind the scenes helping us out as always. And Chad for popping in for a moment. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Jonathan from the Walker County Chamber of Commerce joins Billy and I. As I end every show reminding you this morning, we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. So please provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. Good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. We'll see you back 7:30. See you, Jason.